We go streaming on Twitch again, Twitch again, Twitch again. Checking the sound on Twitch again. Doop-a-doop-a-derp. The sound, we have sound. All right. And then Dementia Radio on and recording.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast, brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hello, everybody. This is Devo Spice. Luke Ski is not able to join us this evening, unfortunately. But welcome to episode 615 of the Funny Music Podcast for March 31st, 2022. Title of this week's episode is Steep Long-Term Children. And we will be having pre-recorded interviews with Steve Goodie and Howie Newman coming up. We were not able to schedule anything with the Knuckleheadz, although I did just send them the link to the show, so might join us live. Probably not, though. So, let's do this.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what?
No, he's right.
So, Devo, what have you been up to? Well, Devo, I'll tell you. I just remembered, 2 minutes ago, right before the show started, that we haven't done a podcast since I performed in Rochester. So I can talk about the Rochester show, and nobody's here to stop me. So yeah, Thursday I drove up to Rochester. Thursday night I performed with Worm Quartet and Lexa Lexicon Artist and Schaefer the Dark Lord. I did my quick 15-minute set at the beginning of the show. I did, excuse me, I did Snack Bar, Dinky McDiddly Boots, Wet Ass Pussycat, and Just For You. And in fact, I was able to record the show, and I just about an hour ago released this month's episode of The Insider, and the audio from that recording is interspersed throughout the show, so you can hear my entire set. So it went pretty well. Was not terribly well attended. There were probably about 25 people there in total, and I think about 10 or 12 for my set because I went on so early. But people who were there seemed to enjoy it. And it was a lot of fun, and more importantly, it was like a return to form. Like, it was such a big step for my mental health doing this show. Like, halfway through Lex's set, I was just like looking around, and I'm like, yeah, this is it. I need to be doing this again. So I'm so glad I did the show. During Shoebox's set, I helped him out with. We did the Rabbit song. We did My Job Gave Me a Poncho. We did Math is Bullshit, and then Take the Fire Back. And didn't screw them up terribly, so that's good. I fumbled a couple of words in Take the Fire Back, but I don't think anybody noticed. The rest of his set was great, and then Lex's set was fantastic, and Schaefer's set was fantastic. First time I've ever seen anybody rap and play the drums at the same time, so that was cool. I talk about this in a little bit more detail on the episode of The Insider that I just posted. So yeah, and then I drove home on Friday. And then on Sunday, I drove to North Carolina because my son was swimming as an alternate for his team at the Nationals Championships. And so that was cool. There wasn't a whole lot to report from that, but the hotel I was at kind of sucked. I stayed at a Super 8, which I normally swear by. I stay at Super 8s all over the place, but this one looked like it had really seen better days. You know, like the end table between the two beds was missing the drawer that usually has the Bible in it, so it was just an opening. We had 2 queen beds in the room, and each queen bed had 1 pillow. So it was like this big bed, little pillow right at the top. I've never seen less than 4 pillows per bed at a hotel, sometimes 6, sometimes 8, because they go crazy with pillows. So I just walked in and it was like big bed, little pillow. It was so weird. The lights in the bathroom sucked. And what the worst part was the entire building reeked of cigarette smoke, especially the hallway outside the door. It was just brutal. It smelled like... Remember when they used to allow smoking in bars? And you'd walk in and half the place would be smoking and you would just, cigarettes. That's what this was like. Was walking into the hallway. That's what it was like. It was brutal. So we contemplated switching hotels when we got there on Sunday night, but decided to tough it out for Sunday night and see how we do. And then if it isn't too bad, we would stay. And then we managed to get through it. So we just decided to stay. We did come home a day early. We were supposed to be coming home today. Decided to come back yesterday because Darren finished swimming early. So we managed to get back a day early, which was good. So I was supposed to have today off because I was going to be driving back. And instead, I had to work today. And it's a good thing I did because my job kind of exploded. There's so much work to do all of a sudden, and it's all falling in my general direction, either with work that I have to do directly or with work that freelancers are doing that I have to manage. And it's been a mess. And I'm probably going to end up working most of the weekend. So yay. And we are having a massive thunderstorm at the moment. So if my internet craps out, that's why. All right. So yeah, my son swimming. I think this is the end of swim, but he's one of those steep long-term children that you just have to deal with. All right, got that out of the way. Now we can do our first song and interview. Here is "My Baby Can't Parallel Park" by Howie Newman.
I love my woman with all my soul. She's smart and pretty, she got a heart of gold. She knows how to cook and dresses so fine. I'm so glad that she's all mine. No one's perfect, you know that's true. There's just one thing she can't do. She tries real hard but misses the mark. My baby can't parallel park. My baby can't parallel park. After all these years, she's still in the dark. Back and forth and up on the curb, bumping and grinding, it gets on my nerves. Rocking and rolling with all of her heart. My baby can't parallel park. We drove into town one Saturday morning. It was a beautiful day, sunny and warm. Do a little shopping, check out the sales, pick up some food and drop the mail. 1 hour parking, the street sign said. My baby just shrugged and shook her head. Just 1 hour, that's a disgrace. It takes almost that long to get into this space. Because my baby can't parallel park. After all these years, she's still in the dark. Back and forth and up on the curb, bumping and grinding, it gets in my nerves. Rocking and rolling with all of her heart. My baby can't parallel park. Simple geometry, it's no big deal. You angle it in, then you turn the wheel. Straighten it out, there you are. You lock all the doors and get out of the car. But to her it's a mystery with nary a clue. It's just one thing she can't do. She's searching for something like Lewis and Clark. My baby can't parallel park. My baby can't parallel park. After all these years, she's still in the dark. Back and forth and up on the curb, bumping and grinding, it gets in my nerves. Rocking and rolling with all of her heart. My baby can't parallel park. My baby can't parallel park.
Okay, Ellen, you got 10 feet on either side. Just Now, I know you can do this.
She can't parallel park.
I'm here with Howie Newman. How you doing, Howie?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Good. And just seeing you on Zoom here, you bear a striking resemblance to Lloyd Kaufman. Has anyone ever told you that?
No, you're the first.
Do you know who he is?
No, I don't.
Okay.
So actually, if someone told me that I wouldn't know anyway. So.
He's the writer and director of The Toxic Avenger. He runs a movie company called Troma, which makes all these low budget spoofy horror movies with lots of blood and guts and awesome stuff. So
Okay, well, I guess I should be flattered, but I'm not sure.
yeah, I love the guy. So yeah, a lot of people don't, but I do. So anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about My Baby Can't Parallel Park, and my dog is like being clingy. So.
Oh, good. Your
Say hi,
dog
Jax.
probably can't parallel park either. But,
No, the dog cannot parallel park.
Yeah. It
So, yeah.
was actually. I mean, it's like one of my songs where I took something that was actually very true. Because I guess I don't have as great imagination as some of the other people on your show, but it was absolutely true. And of course, I embellished it a little bit. But I remember one night we were going to see a show in Harvard Square, which is in Boston area, a little north of Boston. And we were parking on the street, and my wife was driving, and she just took forever to get into this spot and was going back and forth and whatever. And so I said, okay, because I'd been thinking about writing the song for a while, and I said, okay, I've got to write this song. And it's like a lot of times sometimes I can sit down and get almost the whole thing done like in an hour, and sometimes it takes me weeks and weeks. But that one, I just banged it right out. So. And
Did you write it while she was trying to back the car in?
No, I didn't, because the car would have been moving too much. I wouldn't have been able to really write anything. But yeah, we actually I did a guitar solo on it, which is my second recorded guitar solo of all of the recordings I've done, and it came out really good on the album. I liked the way the feel that it had, kind of Americana, kind of whimsical type of arrangement. So. That's the first song on the album, which is it's called the album's called When You're Happy, and that's another song we might consider for for the FuMP.
Sure. Yeah, we're actually going to be dealing with this soon because I have two kids who are about to start driving school, so I am not looking forward to the parallel parking lessons.
Yes. Well, it's not that hard. Actually, they're making cars now that automatically parallel park, so
Yes.
that song may become archaic. I did a song for another album which was about cell phones, and it's sort of like that. That's almost archaic because people text now more than they talk on the phone. So
I did that too. One of my biggest hits was a song about cell phones, and I talked about all the technology in the phone, and one of the things I talk about was this was back in 2007 when phones just had, the iPhone had literally just been announced. It wasn't even out yet. And when phones had like a 1.4 megapixel camera, or some of them had like a 2 megapixel camera. And so like in my song, I mentioned like a 35 megapixel camera. And now there's phones that actually have like 42 megapixels in the cameras. Yeah. And I'm like, well,
the technology just goes. I actually I'm working on a song now. I'm almost finished with it, which sort of examines technology, but it goes. There are wide gaps between the one technology and the other. So the first one would be the internet, like how can we imagine life without the internet? And then it goes back to automobiles. How can we imagine not having an automobile? And then the last verse is discovering fire.
Fire. I was just going to say,
going way back there. And what did we do before we discovered fire? And so,
I imagine we got very cold and we ate a lot of crappy food.
Right. Yeah. Well, it didn't cook that much. So
yeah.
Because I hadn't figured that out yet. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, when you're writing songs like this, you have to like decide whether or not you care that it might be timely. Or it might have an expiration date, I would never think a song about parallel parking would have an expiration date, but I guess it does because we've got,
it's possible, but
the cars that will auto parallel park now, and also self-driving cars are coming eventually.
Yeah, but I have a feeling it's going to have an expiration date after my expiration date, so I won't have to worry about it.
Well, at that point, it'll become really popular
That's right. Yes.
and we'll make a lot of money on it, and you'll be
Right.
dead. So sorry.
Right. Yeah. That's all right. Well, I'll give it to my kids. Will make some money on
Okay,
it.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always
So,
figure I'm going to be a huge star after I'm dead.
well, I'm glad to hear it.
Cool. So yeah, so tell us about the new album.
Well, it's actually not that new. Actually, it's about 4 or 5 years old. But
Oh, okay.
you
So
know,
yeah, not
but
new. That's okay.
it's not that new. But it has. You actually aired another one of my songs about on it, which is "Where Is Everybody," which is
Mhm.
when you go to do a concert and there's only a handful of people in the audience. But um, I did a lot of whimsical songs. It's more of acoustic, kind of Americana type arrangements than some of my other stuff. But I really liked it. And it has the song "When You're Happy, I'm Happy Too," which is about a trip to a yoga retreat with my wife and realizing that compromise and sacrifice is essential to any successful marriage. And I have a song about an old car that I had that I kind of ran into the ground. I had to actually give it up because the air conditioning broke. This isn't really in this. Well, it is in the song, actually. It is. The air conditioning broke, and they no longer manufactured the parts, to fix it. So I had to get rid of it. But I was very attached to the car. And there's also a song about my last cup of coffee, and because I'm not a coffee drinker, but a long, long time ago, I went down to. I was living in New York at the time. We drove down to Baltimore for a basketball game, and I was the only one with a license. So when we drove back, I had to do all the driving, and it's about 8-9 hour round trip, and so we got lost, and I was getting a little sleepy, and so I drank a cup of coffee, and that was. It was the most repulsive thing that I'd ever put into my body, so I decided to commemorate it with a song, and I've never had coffee since. So
Wow,
I
nice.
won't tell you how long ago that was, but it is in the song. So your listeners will have to buy the album or the song to find out how long ago that was.
Okay, fair enough. Got to make you some money somehow.
Yes, that's right.
Cool. So do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Well, I've been doing a lot of live performing.
Oh,
So,
cool.
although this is a worldwide podcast, right? So,
Yes.
someone from like Thailand or something is not likely to come to one of my shows. But if you're in the greater Boston area, I have actually a couple of shows that are very worthwhile to see. I do a musical baseball show, which I do baseball songs. That's sort of a subset of what I do. It's not the main thing, but and I inject a lot of humor into it, and I tell jokes and stories. And I used to be a sports writer, so I have a lot of those stories. And so I've been doing those in the greater Boston area. So you can check my website. It's HowieNewman.com, HowieNewman.com. And in the lower left-hand corner, you'll see a cartoonish figure of a baseball player, and you click on that. That'll give you all the information. And then I also play in a duo. I play acoustic guitar. My partner plays fiddle and mandolin and sings backup vocals. And we do a lot of my songs. We do some of my songs depending on where we're playing. If it's outdoors, you do more covers. If it's indoors, people are going to listen a little more carefully. And we don't do any folk music. We look like a folk duo, but we don't do any folk music. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but we do a lot of classic rock covers.
Oh, cool.
So,
Sounds good.
like Tom Petty, and we're actually working on a song now by the Cars, which pretty amazing. But and the Eagles and stuff like that. So
Awesome.
we have a lot of fun with that, And I try to inject humor into everything that I do because I think people want to be entertained and they want to. So there's some kind of a funny story or something whimsical about every song, really, and I'm always trying to find that.
Good. Yeah.
So
Look, glad to hear it.
yeah, so I've been staying pretty busy, and then I have plans for another album. I know people are waiting with bated breath about that,
Awesome.
but
Yeah. Send us some of those songs when they're ready.
Yeah, I haven't started recording it, but I actually have 10 songs that are ready to go. I mean, ready to be recorded. So
Excellent.
I have to figure out what I want to do arrangements wise and whatever. But yeah, I will probably be recording that over the course of this year, and hopefully releasing it either near the end of the year or beginning of the year. Hopefully in time for holiday shopping, because that always puts a real spike in sales,
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
And looking forward to the new stuff.
And keep it real. Keep it funny.
Take care.
All right, bye.
This is the FuMP.
Naked from the waist down, I'm Donald ducking it, yeah. I'm Donald ducking it, yeah. I'm Donald ducking it, yeah. Feel the wind on my downstairs.
Begins really softly, then ends with a shout. Who can say it the last before chickening out? It goes penis,
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 penis.
penis!
Selfies, she won't use still flash or autofocus. She won't use filters. She thinks they're bogus. She will not rotate. She will not crop. She takes bad selfies and she will never stop. Hey!
That's the Funny Music Project at thefump.com. THEFUMP.com.
Blocking every signal, a fancy metal wig, no, a shiny tin foil hat.
Time for funny music news. Something, something, something.
In the news, Ookla the Mock have announced they are going to release a new album tomorrow, April 1st. Their album, we are excited to announce the release of Lukewarm, a collection of 17 rarities spanning the history of Ookla from 1993 to 2016. The album will be released on April 1st and will be available exclusively through Bandcamp. Their Bandcamp page is ooklathemock.bandcamp.com. April 1st will also mark the official release of the Nerdvana EP on CD, which will also be available through Bandcamp. And speaking of Bandcamp, tomorrow, April 1st, is Bandcamp Friday. So they will be waiving all of their fees for all purchases made tomorrow. So tomorrow is a good day to support your local comedy musician. And Worm Quartet has a new t-shirt design available in his store. This is the classic WQ logo from early in the band's activities. It is available in a multitude of colors. Go to wormquartet.com and click on merch, and you will be redirected to their store. Wildcard says, are you sure this is not an April Fool's joke by Ookla? No, I'm not. We'll find out tomorrow. All right, tour dates. Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goodie hosting at the Bluebird. Tuesdays online, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. Thursdays online, Steve Goodie and Brad Tassel. This weekend, the 1st through the 3rd in Parsippany, New Jersey, the Gothsicles. On the 2nd in Santa Cruz, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 3rd, online, the Consortium of Genius. On the 5th in Clifton Springs, New York, Carla Ulbrich. On the 6th in Voorheesville, New York, Drew Jacobs. On the 6th in Redding, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 8th in Louisville, Kentucky, Nuclear Bubble Wrap. And the 8th and 9th in Waukegan, Illinois, Captain Ambivalent. All right. Second song this week was a song that we slipped into the schedule by Steve Goodie because it was uber timely. So here is Back to the USSR.
No, we didn't pick this fight, but we gotta make some Russians turn around and leave. So we're keeping Putin up at night. Go back to the USSR. You've gone a little too far, boy. Go back to the USSR. We knew you'd come along and try to grab this place like a pasty-faced Stalin clone. But we rallied our resistance right up in your face. Comrade, take your butt back home. Go back to the USSR. You see we are, boy. Go back to the US, hey, take your BS back to the USSR. Our Ukraine kids will push your soldiers out. They'll kick your red behind. You Moscow turd, go on and scream and pout. You must have lost your freaking mind. Oh, come on! Time to go! Go back to the USSR. You psycho wannabe czar, boy. Go back to the USSR. Our Ukraine kids have got a lot of clout, and you've done crossed the line. We can't just wait and see how this plays out. We know Norway's on your mind. We'll show you where the exit is, way out east. Your supply lines are running thin. We're gonna have the last laugh on the communists, 'cause Zelensky's a comedian. Go back to the USSR. Hey, we know what a butthead you are, boy. Go back to the USSR. Oh, let me tell you, honey. Hey, go back. You ain't from around here, are you? Moscow's about 36 hours that way. You're kidding me? My mule. That Vladimir's a real big jerk who puts his nipples on display. But our Vladimir is a real tough dude when the missiles head our way. We got a real nice democracy here, we won't let it go back in time. That Vladimir's a real big jerk and we're gonna make him resign, oh yeah, and he's already a punchline.
I am here once again with Steve Goodie. Hi, Steve.
Hi, everybody. You don't mind if I advertise on your channel, do you?
Not at all.
Like ABC coming on NBC and say, hey, look at this.
That'll be $7,000 a minute.
It's the deal. Would it be okay if I pay you in CDs that you duplicated for me?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, good.
So tell us about this whole USSR thing.
My friend John said, hey, let's do a song based on this song. And I said, sounds great. And we did. We just powered through it. From the moment he suggested it to the moment the recording was made was about a week. And then 6 days later, we had the video done. It was just quite a whirlwind. And we got to use his drone, which was exciting. He's actually a licensed drone-er. I guess that's what you call it.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. And we found a part of Nashville that looks really junky and awful. It was hard to do. And shot some video, and then I cobbled it together. And now I'm getting smart, wise guy people telling me that the Ukraine was part of the USSR and Putin's not a communist. And I'm like, all right. I get it.
It's called artistic license, people.
Yeah,
you know,
just
it's comedy.
Just for a second, stop being Will Smith. Stop it.
Don't overanalyze it too much.
Yeah, it's just jokes. And to a catchy beat. I had one person, and she's a friend of mine, and I don't mean to be hammering her too hard, but she said, your voice doesn't quite sound like Paul. Like, no, really? I don't sound just like Paul McCartney? Amazing. And then she sent me a version of the whole mix. She took the stereo mix and added some reverb to it. And she said, like this. I'm like, no, that is not an improvement. So we're not going to do that. But thanks.
So like the drums and everything have reverb now too, right?
Yeah, the whole darn thing. It's like if it was being played in a large crappy room, large digital crappy room.
Yeah. 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 Corey. Yeah.
No. And you were kind enough to allow me to have a song like 2 weeks after the earlier song, so I'll be posting my next song sometime in 2025.
Yeah. We're front loading Steve Goodie on the FuMP now. By the time his next slot comes around, he's going to be like, I have 17 songs. I don't know which one I should post.
Yeah, this is my song about Trump's third term.
No. Bad, Steve. Bad.
I'll just be over here. Carry on. I'm back.
What we tell the dog when he pees on the floor.
And this is in that category.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is a neat song. It's a good parody.
Thanks.
And I haven't seen the video yet. I saw that you made a video just before this interview as I was prepping for the show tonight. and I saw like the first like 10 seconds of it, and I'm like, oh, he made a video, so I grabbed that. So my first time watching the video will be later tonight on the show, which is after this video interview. Well, you know how time works.
While I'm doing my show.
Yeah.
So possibly at the same time, because we'll be premiering it tonight on this show.
Oh, okay.
So who knows? Could be simultaneous. Probably won't, but it could be.
Yeah,
but
that would be neat. If we tried really hard, we could, but that totally wouldn't be worth it.
Tonight's modifier is neat.
So who's this guy you did this song with?
His name is John Trentis. He's a Nashville songwriter. I've known him for a little over a decade. We've written quite a few songs together.
Any other FuMP songs together?
I believe I've posted some of them. One called "I Drink Well with Others." I think that made it to the FuMP.
I think so.
I can't remember what else. Nashville, the TV show Nashville, we did a song about that, and I think I put that on the FuMP. That was like 2012.
I believe so, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
You have like 9 million songs, so it's hard to remember which
9 million co-writers. So yeah, I don't blame you for not keeping it straight. You can hear it in my voice. I'm not even sure. I don't know. And I don't care.
Yeah, that's fine. That totally works. Thanks. Yeah, so good song. How's the live virtual comedy show thingy go? Oh, it's your 100th episode.
It's our 100th episode. Did I not mention that?
You did not mention that.
I've been making so much noise about that online today, so I've been very annoying about it, I'm sure.
Well, I haven't been online much today because my job has kind of gone batshit crazy. So
oh no, I'm sorry to hear that.
Piling the work on and other stuff that I can't talk about. So.
Well, then we'll just ignore all of that.
Yes, but needless to say, I have not spent a lot of time online today. So
understood.
I did not see your spam.
We had Shoebox of Worm Quartet a week or two ago, and that was a lot of fun. And I hope to have him back on again. And tonight we've got Tom Cotter. He's our comedian. He's been on The Tonight Show. He's been on Conan. He's been all over the place. And our songwriter is a lady named Shanna Hoare, Hoar. That's her last name. So I'm sure she's between my last name and Brad Tassel's last name. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun talking about how people make fun of us.
Yes.
But she goes by Shanna in a dress, which is perhaps a little less make funable. She was recommended by our friend Auburn, who was on the show last week, and she's awesome. So if Auburn likes you, you're probably awesome. So we're trying this completely sight unseen.
Is she a comedy musician or just a singer-songwriter?
Comedy musician.
Nice. Okay.
You can find her online.
I'm not familiar with her, but that's not surprising because there's lots of people I haven't heard of.
Seem to be quite a few of us now. Due to people like you encouraging it.
Yeah, I'm kind of an enabler.
See what you did? Happy now?
Yep.
See what you did on the carpet? No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, best of luck with the show.
Thank you, and you as well.
And I hope it's a wonderful evening. Yeah, plug your stuff.
virtualcomedyshow.com, as it says in little letters right there. Virtual Comedy Show. But by the time you see this, it'll be over. virtualcomedyshow.com every Thursday at 8. Come on by, and stevegoodie.com, as you know.
And the videos are available afterwards, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can watch all this later. Although you can't win prizes if you watch it later. You have to be part of the live Zoom. There will be fabulous prizes, including, let's see, it's a $100 gas card, which will get you a few gallons of gas.
Cool.
And some Chipotle.
Yeah. So you can't win prizes live, but you can watch the FuMPcast live, and then you can tune into Virtual Comedy Show later and see what you missed out on. And then next week,
you can watch the FuMPcast later.
Or you can watch the FuMPcast later. And you see, by the time they see this in the FuMPcast, it's not going to matter anyway.
That's how I was saying it. The
both of them
continuum is very confusing tonight.
Yeah. Both of them are over by now. So
okay. Yeah, neither of them ever happened, and they're both over.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Devo.
And we'll catch you next time. Later.
All right.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback.
Feedback.
You know that segment of the show we do about now?
Feedback.
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 Alvarant wrote,
I was wondering if the switch to Wednesday is permanent or just temporary due to circumstances. If you explained it before, sorry I missed it. It's not a big deal. I'm just curious. Stay awesome and funny. Yeah, it was just temporary. It just so happened that we had to do it 3 weeks in a row because of the various things that we had going on. But we're back on Thursdays as of now, and I don't think we'll need to do another early show, whether it's Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever, for some time yet. And Brett Glass wrote, after all these years playing the best game of D&D ever, Mikey is finally adulting. Perhaps he'd be willing to swap items from his collection of electrical cords. Perhaps. And Brett, if you want one of those video intros, let me know what you would like in it. All right. Third song this week is the new one by the Knuckleheadz, which is about that book, the God damn it, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. That's it. That's what it is. So here is The Cheese Touch by Knuckleheadz.
Ayo, Dada, have you seen this on the ground? It's cheese on top, moldy and gross. I kinda wanna touch it.
You get the cheese touch, homie, you get the cheese touch. A temptation becomes too much and then you get the cheese touch. You get the cheese touch, homie, you get the cheese touch. It's worse than the nuclear cooties, you get the cheese touch. You get the cheese touch, homie, you get the cheese touch. Everybody runs away from you, you get the cheese touch. You get the cheese touch, homie, you get the cheese touch. Right now you missed a such and such, but then you missed a cheese touch.
Okay, I won't touch it. But I want to know the backstory of this cheese. How did it get here? And why are we making a whole song about a piece of washing cheese?
Nobody knows when, and yo, I know it's weird, but one day the cheese just magically appeared. Yo, nobody ever touched it.
Nobody threw it away?
And so it sat there growing more powerful every day. And then this kid named Darren,
he had to touch it, right?
Worst mistake he ever made in his life.
He got a cheese touch.
And then Darren became an outcast, rejected by most every kid in the class. To get back, don't let the cheese attack. Back.
The cheese is not a snack.
Back, don't let the cheese attack. Back.
The cheese is not a snack.
You get the cheese touch, homie, you get the cheese touch. A temptation becomes too much and then you get the cheese touch. You get the cheese touch, homie, you get the cheese touch. It's worse than the nuclear cooties, you get the cheese touch. You get the cheese touch, homie, you get the cheese touch. Everybody runs away from you, you get the cheese touch. You get the cheese touch, homie, you get the cheese touch. Right now you missed a such and such, but then you missed a cheese touch. Okay, so back to Darren, who thought his life was gone. The only way to get rid of it is to pass it on.
Just like the cooties.
That's right, or like a fart that lingers. But you can protect yourself a bit if you just cross your fingers. Maybe get some tape to have them stick together.
Some crazy glue will have them stick them forever.
Word, but Darren did pass it. And I got to Abe Hall, the last kid who ever got it at all. Yo, cause after Abe got it, he moved to Cali.
Gone.
But as you see, this piece of cheese lives on.
Dad, your shoes are untied.
I hurt my knees.
But more important, when you touch the cheese.
No. Back. I gotta pass it, Jax. Back.
No, Dad, please don't attack.
Back. I gotta pass it, Jax. Back.
I'm running away now.
I got the cheese touch, homie, I got the cheese touch. A temptation became too much.
And now you got the cheese touch.
I got the cheese touch, homie, I got the cheese touch. Ooh, yuck, gross, yuck, I got the cheese touch. I got the cheese touch, homie, I got the cheese touch.
Everybody run away from that.
I got the cheese touch. I got the cheese touch, homie, I got the cheese touch. Yuck, I got the cheese touch.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah. Teasing, and you can't see me. Now you can see me. Tomorrow's song is by Mikey Mason. And Tuesday's song is by a new artist. Ooh. And next week's Spotify playlist topic is springtime, which I was supposed to do last week, but with everything going on, I completely forgot. So I will do the springtime this week. And I realized with, for various reasons, Steve Goodie did that song Yappy Dog about adoption. We also have Get a Real Dog and Dachshunds with Erections Can't Climb Stairs. So I have 3 songs about wiener dogs. If anyone knows any other songs about wiener dogs specifically, let me know, because I think it'd be neat to put together a playlist of just wiener dog songs. But so far, those are the only 3 I've thought of. All right. Steve Goodie is at stevegoodie.com. Howie Newman is at howienewman.com. Knuckleheadz are at knuckleheadz.bandcamp.com. Then it's Knuckleheadz with a Z. And that's a show. Let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice. Hopefully Luke will be back next week, and we may actually have some people on live. Let's hope.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of FIDEM Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Shout it to random people on the street. And be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
I got the cheese touch! No!